all old people did not sleep that much at night. He often fell asleep unexpectedly in the daytime, but at night, lying on his bed without undressing, he generally awakes thinking. So he lay down his bed, supporting his large, heavy, scattered head on his plump head, with one eye open, meditating and peering into the darkness. As possible, and no one, not even Napoleon, could say anything against that truth which they all recognized. But though they all realized that it was necessary to get away, there still remained a feeling of shame at admitting that they must flee. An external shock was needed to overcome the shame, and this shock came in the dull time. It what the French needed, called les horreurs, les bourras de Emperor, 449. The day after the consul, Napoleon rode out early in the morning, and his lines with the army, with his suit and marshals of escort, on the pretext of inspecting the army and the scene of previous and of the impending battle. Some Cossacks on the prowl for booty fell into the emperor and impending battle. Some Cossacks who were for the booty fell in with the emperor, and what saved him was the very thing that was destroyed the French army. And scarring Napoleon, they rushed after the plant, and Napoleon managed to escape. When Don might so easily have taken the emperor himself and the Mavis army, it was clear that there was nothing for it but to fly as fast as possible the nearest familiar road. Napoleon, with his 40-year-old stomach, understood that hint, and not feeling his former agility, boldness, and under the influence fright Cossacks, and giving him at once, he agreed and issued orders, as the whole historians tell us, to retreat by the Smolensk road. Napoleon agreed with Malden that the army retreat does not prove that Napoleon caused it to retreat, but the forces which influenced the whole army and directed it along the Smolensk road acted simultaneously on him too. Chapter 19. Khrushchev might to restrain the troops of our man attack, trying to bar the road and the infantry regiments that we were told, and the advance to the attack with the music and the drums being almost killed and lost thousands of men. But they did not cut off the overthrow anybody of the French army. Closing up more, the danger continued in meditating a way to pursue it, the path to the Smolensk road. Book 14, 1812. Chapter 1. The Battle of Borodino, with the occupation of Moscow that followed it, and the flight of the French with further conflicts, is one of the most intrusive in the history. All historians agree that the external activity of the states, of the nations, and in the conflicts with one another in his expressed war, and that the direct result of greater or less success in the war of the politic strengths of the states and nations increases or decreases. Strange as it may be, the historical account of some new king or emperor having with another collects an army, fights his enemy, and the army gains a victory by killing 3 or 5,000 men, 5 or 10,000 men, and a kingdom and the whole entire nation of 7 millions, and all facts of the history confirm the truth of the statement, and greater or less intelligible why the defeat of the army in 100 part of the nation should obligate the whole nation to submit. An army gains a victory, and at once the rights of the nation have increased. The army of the defeated, an army that suffered defeat, and at once a people loses its rights in proportion, and the reverse. And if its army suffers to complete defeat, and this nation is quite subjugated, so that according to history it has been found from the most ancient times, and so it is to our own day. All Napoleon's wars served to confirm his rule. In proportion to its defeat of the Austrian army, the Austria loses its rights. And the rights and the strength of the France increased. The victories of the French at Austerlitz destroyed the independent existence of Prussia. But in 1812, the French regained victory near Moscow. Moscow was taken after that, but no further battles is not in Moscow. And that ceases to exist, but the stained facts to the rule of history say that the field of Moscow at Borodino, the battle at Borodino, remained in the hands of the Russians, or that after Moscow there were other battles destroying Napoleon's army is impossible. Chapter 2. One of the most obvious advantages apart from the so-called rules of war is action of the scattered groups against men pressed together in a mass. Such actions always occur in that war, and to take on a national character in such actions, instead of two crowds opposing each other, the men attack singularly, run away and is attacked by stronger forces, but again attacked when opportunity offers. This was done in Spain in the mountains and ended by the Russians in 1812. People have called this kind of war the guerrilla warfare, and assuming that by so calling it that they have explained its meaning. But such a war does not fit in any army rule, and is directed opposingly and well rule of the tactics which is accepted it to be stronger than the opponent of the moment of conflict. Military science is yet not only necessary to abandon the false view of the directions and ensured that were timed by the commanders in order to find the unknown quantity. That unknown quantity of the spirit army is safe to say greater or lesser. To fight and face danger felt by all men composing an army quite independently, or whether they are or whether they not, fighting under the command of two genius in 2-3 lines formation that are the rival that can repeat 30 times minimum. Many who want to fight will always put themselves in the most conditions for fighting. The spirit of an army factors what multiplied by the mass gives the resulting force to define and express the significance for this unknown factor. This experience of an army isn't a problem for science. Chapter 4.